Okay, it's a beautiful day, and we have to talk about something very wonderful that is actually going to be beneficial to you or to someone you may share this video with. Well, today we're going to be talking about why the solar business is growing rapidly in Nigeria. And we have a whole lot of it listed, and we also have how can you benefit. I think this is why most of you should watch this video to the end, because I'm going to be sharing very wonderful tips on how you would benefit from the solar industry in Nigeria, which is one of the most growing, fastest growing industry right now in Nigeria. First of all, you may want to ask yourself, why do people buy cold beverages? And at what time of the year does these beverages sell faster? Cold beverages are always in high demand during the dry season, when you have the hot, the air, the weather, everywhere being hot. People would always buy cold drinks, cold water, because they want to calm their thirst. During the rainy season, you might not really sell as much. So you see that before you make money from something, there has to be a problem. The problem there is tests and hot weather. And now you're selling a solution, which is what? Cold drinks or water, whatsoever it is. It could be a smoothie that comes directly out from a cooling storage, and people will buy it. So a problem and then a solution. Now, why is the solar business growing so rapidly in Nigeria? First of all, there has to be a registered problem. Why is it growing? Because of unreliable power supply. Everybody knows how epileptic our public grid supply has been. And you know how this has, made many businesses to suffer. Many businesses have spent so much money setting up their businesses. A lot of persons have set up their businesses and have spent so much money. The money they're supposed to be making as profit, some of them are spending it on the epileptic power problems that we have. Now, the rising cost of fuel, like we just said, unreliable power supply. When power is not available from the grid, people would always want to use generator. Okay? Now, the rising demand for solar has also been one of the things making it grow rapidly. Now, a lot of persons, including me standing here, have suffered the epileptic supply of electricity. You can either suffer in your homes or in your business. Some persons have businesses, they cannot make a lot of money from it because of the epileptic power supply, taking them to buying petrol. And now the petrol cost is really high. Rising demand for solar, because a lot of persons are tired of this buying fuel at the high cost, and also the epileptic supply of this public grid. A lot of persons have turned to solar installations. Now, the registered problem here is the problem of not having electricity. Why is it now a business? It is a business because a lot of persons in Nigeria are looking out to change the story. I don't like when I'm serving my customers, or when I'm doing this or doing that, electricity just fails. Imagine running a school and the place is usually very hot because you need to rely on electricity from the grid, from the public grid. It's going to make your students sweat. It will make parents start to complain. They may start pulling out their students from their children from their works, rather, from your school, and that's going to be a problem for your business. Imagine that every time people come to cut their hair, you have your generator making a lot of noise, and a lot of things. Many things have caused so many people to say, no, enough is enough. I want to get solar installed. For me, when I spend all the time as a field worker, doing installation, working or giving supervising job at site, and I come back, I don't want electricity to be out. You cannot plan the supply of electricity in Nigeria. Everybody knows that. You can travel and come back with the hope of having electricity and it is not there. Many people don't want that because where the weather is very hot, you need fan to at least take you through the night. And relying on the public grid, that's not going to be possible. So people turn to use solar. A small installation, no matter how small it is, would at least power your critical loads and would help you through in your business or in your homes. Now that we've checked that, let us look briefly into how you can benefit. You know how much everyone needs to buy solar now in Nigeria. And how can you benefit from this? You can benefit as a solar installer. A solar installer is a trained person who is trained in installing all the elements that makes an installation. A trained technician who is an expert in installing all these parts, the solar panels, the batteries, the inverters, the cables. That's his job. You can also benefit as a solar sales ambassador. A solar sales ambassador is a person who has received adequate training, adequate training in understanding all solar products. We have various solar products. We have solar panels, we have solar fans, we have solar bulbs, we have different solar units, solar water heaters, everything that has to do with solar. A solar sales ambassador understands how these equipments work, the technical parameters of all these equipment, and how he or she can sell it to their customers. A solar sales ambassador does not necessarily need to learn how to install. They just basically learn all these things and they make money from selling these products they have learned to customers. Now, a solar system designer. This is a trained professional who is able to capture your loads, the size of the apartments, industry, company, house, by checking and doing a census of all the loads and the timing they are going to run. The solar system designer is going to be able to design a working system that will not fail. That is the job of a solar system designer, and he makes money from that. Now, a maintenance technician. A maintenance technician can also be a solar installer, but sometimes a maintenance technician can just be a maintenance technician, in that he learns how to maintain an already existing installation. He doesn't necessarily need to know how to install all these things from scratch, but he knows how to maintain the maintenance procedures for every kind of installation. That's what a maintenance technician is doing. Now, a trainer is a professional in the solar industry that understands the nooks and the crannies of the business, the technicalities of the installation and the technicalities in the sales, and he is able to impact that knowledge onto other persons. That's a trainer. You can make money training people. Now, a project manager is a professional who understands every bit of an installation and he's going to be in charge of a project. Usually project managers are always employed during very large installations. You're not going to install a small installation in your house and you need a project manager. You're going to pay the project manager. You're also going to pay a solar installer. So you don't need this when you're doing a small installation. Now, looking at all these lists, what do you think amongst this that you who is watching this video or someone you know can learn, because every bit of these lists comes with a training, and you need to follow up with that training to become a solar installer, or a solar sales ambassador, or a solar system designer, or a maintenance technician, a trainer, and a project manager. For someone who doesn't have any technical background, who wants to combine this whatsoever job or business you're doing with selling solar products, I would recommend that you take a training as a solar sales ambassador. This would help you to learn all the products, learn all the information that comes with each of these products, who this product is meant to be sold to, and how to sell it and make money from it. This training can be completed within 2 weeks. I'm going to be dropping a video soon and a link for you to train to become a solar sales ambassador. This might actually take a longer time for you to train to become a solar installer, because it has so much technicalities. A system designer can also be done within 2 to 3 months, and as time goes on, you can build your experience as a solar system designer. A maintenance technician, this training can be completed within 1 to 2 months, and you can become a maintenance technician within 1 to 2 months if you're smart. A trainer, you need to spend so much time to learn a little bit of all the parts before you become a trainer. And the project manager actually requires you to have a certification certifying that you are trained in this field and you can manage a project. Until next time, I'd like you to drop in the comment section what you would like to learn and which of these trainings you would like me to expatiate. If you want to become a solar sales ambassador, you can drop in the comment section solar sales ambassador, so I can know if I'm going to drop this video soon for you. Have a nice day. Thank you. I remember myself, Big Archie, and this is Learn with Archie.